Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third annual benefit concert, Children Helping Children 2021. I'm Ayush, the co-founder of Children Helping Children, along with my sister, and the director of tonight's show. I'd like to start by thanking you for joining us tonight. Your support means the world to me, the performers tonight, the volunteers who made tonight possible, and to everyone who benefits from the amazing work that UNICEF does. We were hoping to hold this event on a Zoom webinar where, despite the performances being pre-recorded, my speeches and the speeches of all the other performers tonight would be live. However, after some technical difficulties, I made the difficult decision to make tonight completely pre-recorded. During this pandemic, we've had to adapt to changes very quickly. Tonight is another example of that. Usually, we'd be in the Performing Arts Center in downtown Greenwich. However, instead of being disappointed with this change, I, along with everyone else here at Children Helping Children, am embracing this new format. Unfortunately, I won't be able to answer your questions live here like I was hoping to. However, throughout the concert, feel free to ask both me and all of the other performers questions or post comments and suggestions in the live chat underneath this video. Throughout the concert, I'll also ask trivia questions that I'll answer following the next piece. Feel free to post your guess in the chat below. Tonight's program has been sent in the email to you where you found this link. There are two versions, one that is printable and meant to be used as a booklet, and one that is designed to be read online. Download the one you'd like to see, or just enjoy our show. We have a great selection of pieces tonight by 12 young musicians, with music from the 1700s all the way to music from the 20th century. Anyway, I'm so excited to get started. Thank you again for joining us as we support UNICEF and the extraordinary work they do, helping children all around the world. And remember, it's not too late to donate if you haven't already or want to give more. Go to tinyurl.com/stringbeans. That's tiny, the word, URL, the letters, .com/stringbeans, one word, as in the vegetable. And to those who have already given, thank you for helping us make the world a better place. Now, without further ado, let's get started. We'll start with Liebesleit, the Fritz Kreisler piece performed by my sister and co-founder, Emma Manning. But first, a quick trivia question. Feel free to put your answer in the chat. Who was Fritz Kreisler, and what is he famous for? Now, let's turn to Emma.
Hi, my name is Emma Manning, and today I'll be playing Liebesleit. Liebesleit means love sorrow. During this COVID time, many of us are feeling isolated and lonely. I hope this piece can bring you some love. Thank you.
Thank you for that incredible performance. As a reminder, our first trivia question was, who was Fritz Kreisler and what is he famous for? Today, Fritz Kreisler is world-renowned as one of the greatest violinists of all time. He was known for his unique tone and his expressive phrasing. First violinist, he became a composer, writing many pieces for violin and piano. And for those who have been with us since the first year, you'll recall that Mr. Björn Kuckwa played Liebesfreude, another of a set of 3 short pieces, which translate to Love's Joy, Love's Sorrow, and Lovely Rosemary. Next, let's move on to our next piece, the String Quartet No. 2 in D minor, Opus 76, nicknamed Fifths, by Haydn, performed by the Philips String Quartet, presented tonight by their violist, my friend Mio Goge. Haydn wrote this piece in his 60s. After finishing his job as a court composer and making 2 tours of England as a wealthy man, he returned to Vienna to write whatever he wanted, giving the world this string quartet. Now for a harder trivia question. Why is it nicknamed Fifths? Be sure to pay close attention to the music for a clue. Now let's turn to Mio for a brief introduction.
My name is Mio Goge. Welcome to our Children Helping Children 2021 benefit concert. As you know, March 2020 brought a halt to many of our lives. At that time, I realized my lack of passion and goals. When summer came, I got a life-changing opportunity to play in a quartet. I would like to introduce you to the members in my quartet. We have Emma Maini, who has inspired me to work hard with her dedication to music. She is one of my closest friends. Next, we have Ewan McLennan, who has given me unforgettable encouragement through kind words and patience. Without his help, I don't know if I would have made it. Last but not least, we have Aki Takeda, who has inspired me with her grit when she joined our quartet last fall, as she was new to the United States and the English language. My group has made me realize anything is possible with strong determination and support. I'm so grateful and fortunate to be part of the quartet. Tonight, we will be playing Haydn String Quartet, Opus 76, No. 2, Quinton, the first movement. This is the first piece we played together. As this quartet has helped me, I hope that this music will help us raise funds and support for children in need. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you to the Phillips String Quartet for that performance. I asked why the piece is nicknamed fifth in our last trivia question. The answer to that is a bit complicated. Essentially, in music, the distance between two notes is referred to as an interval. Therefore, the distance between 5 notes is referred to as a fifth. Throughout the movement, there are more than 100 falling fifths, giving it the nickname fifths. Next, we have Etude Number 1 from the solo timpanist by Vic Firth, a composer and founder of the Vic Firth Company, a company that makes percussion sticks and mallets. During a normal year, it would be nearly impossible to have a timpani performance due to the logistics involved, but this year, in another example of embracing change, I'll be playing a short timpani piece. Notice the different rhythms, patterns, themes, and timbres throughout the piece. And now for our trivia question: how many drumsticks and mallets combined does Vic Firth produce annually? Feel free to take a guess in the chat below. Now, let's begin. Quite an interesting piece and a fascinating instrument. Did you know that timpanis were once mounted on horses, driven into battle to scare the enemy? Today, we listen to the timpani in concert halls, but it still creates a similar effect. For the answer to our trivia question, Vic Firth, as of 2015, produces about 12 million drumsticks and mallets annually, according to the New York Times. Next, we have my own string quartet, the Highland String Quartet, which I'll be representing today. We'll be performing the second movement of Samuel Barber's only string quartet in B minor, opus 11. The second movement is more famous and is arguably the composer's most famous piece, leaving a lasting legacy, having been broadcast over the radio after the announcement of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's death, broadcast on television after the announcement of President John F. Kennedy's death, performed at numerous funerals, including Albert Einstein's, performed at the 2010 Winter Olympics opening ceremony, performed by major orchestra at memorials including the Manchester Arena bombing, the Brussels bombing, and the September 11 attacks, and most recently by the Berlin Philharmonic for victims of the COVID-19 pandemic. The world premiere took place in 1938, performed by the NBC Symphony Orchestra, conducted by the great Arturo Toscanini. Written when the composer was just 26 in Austria, living with his partner and also a composer, both of whom happen to have won the Pulitzer Prize for Music twice, for a total of 4 among them, the piece is quite a unique one, and a world-renowned one. Now for our trivia question. Where was the piece premiered, and what is the significance of that place? I'll leave you with that question as we begin. What a beautiful piece. This piece was premiered in Studio 8H of NBC Studios in New York City at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. While that might not seem like much, you might recognize it as it houses Saturday Night Live today. Quite an interesting piece. Let's now turn to Gia Lin, the assistant director of tonight's show, and my friend, performing the third movement of Bruch's Violin Concerto No. 1, Opus 26.
Happy that I was able to help my friend Ayush with this year's benefit. It has been a tough year for a lot of kids not being able to go to school and participate in activities that allow us to connect with each other. However, even though we've all had to change our habits and give up things that we would ordinarily like to do, I think my friends and I are very lucky to live in a safe environment where we don't need to worry about lack of food or violence. There are a lot of kids in the world who have to struggle every day for the basics in life. I think UNICEF's activities have made a meaningful difference for those kids. The mission of UNICEF is to save and protect the world's most vulnerable children. UNICEF operates in more than 190 countries and has helped save more children than any other humanitarian organization by providing healthcare, clean water, sanitation, nutrition, education, and emergency relief. I'm also impressed by the fact that UNICEF is a very efficient charity. Out of every dollar spent, 89 cents goes directly towards helping children, so your contribution in buying a ticket to today's event will really make a difference. Just to give you a couple examples, in 2019, UNICEF and partners treated over 4.9 million children for severe malnutrition and reached 7.4 million children with basic education programs. I think that's really amazing, and that's why I wanted to be a part of this benefit concert. During the pandemic, one of the things that I look forward to most was my weekly quartet practices, which allowed me to work on amazing classical pieces with my friends. We had a lot of fun playing Beethoven, Mendelssohn, and now Debussy. You'll hear a movement from our Mendelssohn Quartet later in our concert. You'll also hear me playing the third movement of Bruch's Violin Concerto in G minor, which is one of the most popular romantic violin concertos performed today. It was written in 1866 when Bruch was 28 years old. It's a fast piece that's full of energy and intensity, which I love. I feel like there's a lot of drama in this movement, sections with complex fiery chords contrasted with beautiful lyrical sections. I hope you enjoy it. And thank you again for joining us for this special concert, and thank you to Ayush for letting me be a part of organizing it.
quite an impressive performance. Next, we have String Quartet Number 2 in A minor, Opus 13 by Felix Mendelssohn. This trivia question is a bit of an easy one as I've already written the answer somewhere. What is the original name of the movement that the Phoenix Quartet will be playing? Check your program for the answer. And now, I'll turn it over to Madeline to discuss the piece.
Hello, I'm Madeline Minichetti and I'm the cellist for the Phoenix Quartet. Our quartet will be playing the fourth movement of the Mendelssohn Quartet Number 2 in A minor, Opus 13. Mendelssohn composed this quartet in 1827 at the age of 18. The fourth movement is played presto, which means fast at a rapid tempo. Our first violinist is Jia Lin, the second violinist is Kendra Cheng, and our violist is Emily Ward. These are very trying times, and as a fairly recent member to Chamber Quartet, I've discovered new and talented people who share my passion for beautiful music. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you enjoy the performance.
That concludes our selection of quartets playing tonight. If you look at our program, you'll notice the original name of the movement was Molto Allegro, Adagio non lento, but it was renamed Presto, Adagio non lento, in the copyist's manuscript. Up next, we have the Viola Concerto in D major, Opus 1, by Johann Stamitz. For our last trivia question, What famous composer did Stamos have a, quote, immense influence, end quote, on, according to Britannica? final trivia question, Stamets had an immense influence on the composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Thank you to all those who participated in our trivia. I'd like to take a moment to appreciate the work we've accomplished tonight. Usually in this speech, I'd announce a final figure that we've reached. This year, since this video is pre-recorded, I'm not quite sure what that final figure is, but that doesn't matter, because our work continues, fighting to make sure that no child suffers needlessly. And until we reach that goal, we'll continue to work to make this dream a reality, which means that there is no final figure or an end result for tonight. We'll continue to accept donations after tonight. I am personally quite impressed that we managed to get over $10,000, especially during an online benefit, and it is quite a feat. Our work continues though. If you're able to, and haven't yet, please go to tinyurl.com/stringbeans and help support UNICEF. Or, if you have, please help us spread the word by sharing the link with family and friends, as it's never too late to give. I am constantly amazed by the work we've managed to accomplish through supporters like you. Children Helping Children started after a close friend of mine was diagnosed with leukemia. His name was Kazuma. With him in mind, I looked to find ways to make the world a better place, creating Children Helping Children to help other children who need help most. Now we've raised about $40,000 for children around the world. Think about that, $40,000. I am deeply humbled by that figure and the immense dedication and support we've seen tonight and over the last 3 years. I'd like to take a moment to briefly share an old Chinese proverb. Although I shared this last year too, I think it's really impactful. Quote, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a month, get married. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody else, end quote. And here we are. While we must continue our work, I think it's important that we celebrate and appreciate all the work that we've done tonight. I'm reminded again that no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, and no matter what challenges you face, you can make real differences in people's lives. You can choose to be kind. You can choose to hold the elevator door open or help an elderly person up the stairs, because being kind and respectful makes the world a better place, one person at a time and one small act of kindness at a time. And because we can. It's something we can all do to leave the world a better place than we found it. Thank you for joining me in that mission. To wrap tonight up, we have Sinfonia Concertante in E-flat major, K through 640, by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And with that, that concludes our program tonight. Thank you for joining us for our third annual benefit Children Helping Children 2021. It is really a special experience working with all of these talented young musicians. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who made tonight possible. First, thank you to all the children who participated in tonight's event, working hard and practicing their pieces to bring you the masterpieces you saw. Thank you to all the parents out there who encourage us to do our best. Thank you to all the teachers out there, shaping the hearts and minds of the next generation, including but not limited to Mr. Byung-Kuk Kwon, who was here tonight and spoke during my last two benefits as my violin and viola teacher, but also a wise man who has guided me through life. Miss Azia Meshber, the director of the Chamber Institute for Young Musicians, guiding all of the quartets you heard tonight. Mr. Hansel Choi, my remarkable percussion teacher and a role model, and Miss Mary Marcel, my Rye Country Day School faculty advisor, along with all of the other teachers with whom tonight's participants study with. I'd also like to thank my family and friends, supporting me throughout my journey through life, and all of the supporters who made tonight possible. I can't begin to put into words how appreciative I am for your generous support. What we've done tonight will impact so many people in ways we can't even imagine, reuniting children separated from their parents, immunizing children against deadly viruses, keeping children warm during the winter, giving children access to clean water and healthy food, providing emergency relief, and giving children access to education all around the world. There are 8 billion people on this planet, most of whom we'll never get to meet or see. These peoples have feelings, emotions, hopes, and dreams, and by joining us tonight, you've helped us in our goal to allow every child to achieve his or her dream. Thank you for joining us tonight, and good night.